Hey guys, Helvetica here, doing a tech review on the iPhone 5. I haven't done a video in a couple months, but yeah, this is going to be added to my new tech playlist or review playlist. I don't really know what it's going to be called yet, but yeah, let's get right into it. So here we have the iPhone 5 in the black color or space gray. What color was that? I forget what the color is called, but as you can see here, it's in black. And one thing about the iPhone 5's black color is, this is why they changed it from this to the space gray color, the silverish color, is because if you see all these scratches on the side here, the paint got wore out and started to chip away just from normal use, not really from any drops or anything like that. This is just from being put into side of cases, set down on the back like this, stuff like that. So moving on to my main point, is the iPhone 5 worth it in 2016, seeing how the 6S, the 6S Plus, the 6, the 6 Plus, and the SE are now all released? You can pick one of these up on eBay for around $100, maybe $120 for one in good condition, maybe even one in this condition here with some scratches on it, with no charger or headphones or anything like that for under $100. So I mean, it really is a great deal, but let's look at the specs. So moving on to the specs, we'll start out with the camera here. It has a 8 megapixel rear facing camera that records at 1080p, 30 frames per second. That's pretty good quality. I will have some pictures up on screen here in a second that I took with the rear facing camera and the front facing camera. Speaking of the front facing camera, we have a 1.2 megapixel front facing camera, eyesight camera, that records at 30 frames per second in 720 pixel, which is really not bad. So I mean, the camera is good. It's still up to modern standards, especially for a smartphone, you know. And now let's move on to the chip and stuff like that. The iPhone 5 features a 4-inch Retina display at 640 by 1366 resolution. It has an Apple A6 chipset in it at 1.3 gigahertz dual core and has 2 gigabytes of DDR2 RAM in it. So, I mean, it's not the fastest phone out there, but taking into account of how Apple designs its operating system, it doesn't really need, you know, really good, crazy specs, and that's how iPhones have always been. You know, the operating system has been able to be really efficient with these specs, you know, and low RAM. That's why I think the new iPhones just now have 4 gigabytes of RAM, maybe 2 gigabytes of RAM. I'm not sure, but the operating system is very efficient in terms of that, so it's very fast and snappy and speedy, even on iOS 9.1.3, which is what this device is running. Now, is the iPhone 5 still worth it? I've owned an iPhone 5 back in 2014, and personally, I love this design. I think this is the best design of any of the iPhones, I think, even over the 6 and the older iPhones. This is just such a nice design with the glass up here, the glass down here, and this aluminum back. And it feels great in the hand. It feels nice. It feels expensive, and it's just really nice overall. You can get a good grip on it, especially with the 6. The 6 has a slippery feel to it when you're holding it in your hand. It feels like you're gonna drop it. But is it still worth it? I mean, considering the price is only about $100 on eBay, maybe $120 for one in good condition with a charger and stuff. I personally think it still is worth it if you're coming from another device, or if you're coming from, say, an iPhone 3GS or iPhone 4 or 4S. It is worth it to pick one up off eBay if you don't feel like spending money on the 6 or the SE. But the SE is also a great option, considering the 16 gigabyte model comes in at $399 and the 64 gigabyte model comes in at $499. That's a great price. So if you do have the money, I would recommend going for the SE over the 5S. But if you're just looking for, you know, a new iPhone and you have you don't really have a bunch of money to spend on an iPhone, I think the 5 is a good choice. You could probably pick up a 5S on eBay for around the same price, you know, $150, $160, a nice one with a charger. So these phones are still good phones, and I actually really like this design. I hope Apple does something like this design with the iPhone 7 or 7S or whatever they choose to do, or whichever phone, you know. But so I think it is still worth it personally, and yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys.